I asked this question on Twitter yesterday. I said, has Twitter ever suspended a left-winger for spreading misinformation? There's all sorts of misinformation that has been spread. Russia collusion, Rachel Maddow, was a lie. 5 years she spent on it. Hunter Biden's laptop. Remember when Jen Psaki came out and said, oh, this is Russian disinformation, it's not real. The laptop is all real. Brett Kavanaugh, sexual assaults, Supreme Court. Peers, they were all lies. Certainly most of them were lies. Jussie Smollett and the lynching that happened to him, total lie. Hands up, don't shoot, total lie. We have been suffused in lies, deluged with lies on social media that are left-wing in origin. Has anybody ever been suspended from Twitter for left-wing lies? Of course not. Look, I am a free speech absolutist. I went on CNN and got banned for life by saying I believe in only two things, the First Amendment and boobs, all right? It's a fun line, but what it represents is a complete bear hug on the marketplace of ideas. I believe in everyone's ability to speak, and I also believe the best way to cure speech that is wrong-headed is to allow more speech. Think about things that have been proven to be complete disasters in our country. Defund the police. Remember when you were not allowed to say that you supported police by and large, you were getting shouted down? Remember when BLM, it was impossible to say, hey, you know what? The BLM movement is a Marxist front, and it actually opposes many of the things that are most helpful to people of all races in the United States. Like the nuclear family is a good thing. Having a mom and dad at home is a great thing if you look historically at what the outcomes are for children. These are not complicated situations, okay? And so we were forced, and then you couldn't say, remember, you couldn't say that COVID likely originated from a Chinese lab. That was racist. You couldn't even say that that COVID originated from China. You weren't allowed to say that masks likely were providing no benefit. You weren't allowed to say that your kids shouldn't be wearing masks in school. All of these things we were told would lead to grandmas dying, and they were unacceptable. You couldn't ask any questions about the COVID vaccine, even as all of the COVID vaccine data crumbled in terms of its efficacy. You weren't allowed to ask legitimate questions based on scientific reality. And so why is it that Twitter is creating a world where they only suspend people with conservative views? I'm not even saying conservative in the traditional context. I'm just saying not left-wing views. And what I have to tell you is this, and I'm a Twitter shareholder, and I've supported the company over the years. If Twitter becomes an echo chamber where only people from the left wing share ideas and debate, which it is in danger of rapidly spiraling into, it loses all legitimacy. Twitter exists as a viable and interesting medium for the conflict of ideas and for debate to occur. As soon as Twitter further silos itself into a big tech left-wing dominated organization, which happens a little bit more every day and with every decision, whether it's Marjorie Taylor Greene or Donald Trump, when you still allow the Taliban to have a Twitter account, and when the Ayatollah still has a Twitter account, and the democratically elected president of the United States is not allowed to have a Twitter account at the time, Donald Trump, and when there are Congress people that are not allowed to have Twitter accounts, that is not a furtherance of American democracy. Twitter is failing when it comes to embracing the marketplace of ideas, and I believe is making the country far worse as a result.